What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Muay Diaz Combat Pubcast. It's Monday, February 9th, coming off the big Super Bowl weekend. We had fights at the Apex, PFL, Bare Knuckle Mania, and the big breaking news today, former world champion Errol Spence from Dallas will be returning soon, and he will be taking on former world champion Tim Tszyu. I think that's a great fight for Errol Spence to come back to. He's not looking for an easy tune-up. It's a good matchup for both guys. I'm looking forward to that. Waiting to see where that will take place in the date, but he will be coming back, and he hasn't been back since the loss to Terrence Bud Crawford. So shout out Errol Spence from Dallas. The Apex. This weekend was my best picking weekend for fights, and I can't even remember. I literally picked every single fight correctly except for one, and that was the feature fight, Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Kuniev. Every other fight, from the very first prelim fight to the main event, I got right. I picked correctly. If you don't believe me, go back on my last episode where I ran down the entire sheet. I picked every single fight right. So out of the 13 fights they were had on the Apex, I went 12-1. So not a bad weekend to pick fights, right? I want to get to the main event. Mario Bautista defeats Vinicius Oliveira by submission in the second round. This is the best Mario Bautista I've ever seen. You know, since I've been covering him, the fight before the Jose Aldo fight is when he came on my radar. The Aldo fight didn't sit too well with a lot of people because it was a close fight. Some people thought Aldo won. Mario did get the victory on that one. I think it was a split decision, I believe. And then which fight was next? Man, who did he fight next? The Apache fight was his last one, or the Umar fight. So it was that one, the Apache fight, the Umar fight. He just kept plugging away. Let me make sure I got it right. Yeah, Aldo, Apache mix, loses to Umar. You could tell he makes the adjustments after that Umar fight. He said it in the post-fight presser. Umar held him down. He was on his back. He didn't like it. He made the adjustments in the wrestling. He absolutely dominated Vinicius Oliveira in this fight. His jiu-jitsu was so slick. The setup for the finish, he went Kimura to the back take, drops the hooks and traps the arm from the Kimura from the back. Traps the left arm, slides the right arm across, finishes it up. Vinicius Oliveira was tapping within seconds. I mean, I think he knew he wasn't going to make it out of that round. That's why he tapped so quickly. And Mario Bautista probably has like a nasty squeeze. So once he had it on, it was only a matter of time. But he had a great performance, man. He hit a beautiful sweep. He took Oliveira down. Oliveira tried to roll him over, and he just uses that butterfly hook to kick sweep him back over. That was beautiful to see. Beautiful to see from Mario. He landed some big body kicks in that fight. Oliveira said that he had broken his arm back in December, but he still wanted to go through with the fight, which, listen, man, I understand. And every professional fighter goes into these fights injured. Every single one. No one ever enters that cage 100%. So I get it. He might have been injured, but, Mario put it perfectly. He goes, look, man, the last fight versus Patchy Mix, he had popped his rib open, and he stood up, and you could see it still bulging out. Like, there's just nothing really you can do with rib injuries. And he was like, I popped my rib out, a few weeks before the fight with Patchy Mix, and I still went out there and beat the shit out of him. So, I don't know, man. There's a saying that one of my 7th grade, 8th grade football coaches said, and I'll never forget it. Excuses are like assholes. Everyone's got one. So, and they all stink. So, make the excuses you want. Mario got the job done, and it looked great. I love the call out, Corey Sandhagen. I really want to see Sandhagen, O'Malley, but I think it was put out there that they were trying to do Sandhagen versus, oh man, what's his name? The dude from Canada. Man, I don't know why. Maybe I just got off work and I cannot pull my shit together right now, guys. Ayman Zahabi. Okay, yeah, Faraz Zahabi's younger brother. So it was in talks for Corey Sandhagen to fight Ayman Zahabi. Supposedly Zahabi's not going to be ready in time. So that frees up Sandhagen. So either they're going to go Sandhagen O'Malley, depending on what's going on with Petr Yan, since he did have the surgery. Maybe they keep O'Malley out and then put him against O'Malley, or it's right there, right for the pickings, man. Mario versus Sandhagen too. That'd be a great fight. I love that call out. But beautiful performance by Mario Bautista, man. Like I said, that is the best Mario Bautista I've ever seen. That's the best he's ever looked. So shout out to Mario Bautista. The co-main event, Amir Albazi versus Kyoji Horiguchi. I picked Horiguchi. He looked great. He got the decision. Amir Albazi just couldn't find him in there, man. I think he landed like a total of like 30 strikes the entire fight. I mean, he just couldn't find Kyoji Horiguchi in there. And he was like 0 for 7 for takedowns the entire fight. He could never get Kyoji Horiguchi down to the ground. And that just shows Kyoji Horiguchi was in the UFC in 2016. He got let go by the company, and now he's back. He had his last fight 2025 in Qatar, and now he's back in 2026 against Amir Albazi, and he looks great in both fights. That just shows, even if you get tossed out by the company, he grew so much in that 10 years, man. He looks like a completely different fighter. He's in his 30s, like 35 or 36. He's mature. His body is still clicking on all cylinders. And now he has all that mental, all those mental reps and all that experience. And he's like a full-fledged veteran now. And he just shows that savviness, man, when he gets in there with these young guys. They just don't know what to do with them. And he just overwhelms them with so much knowledge and so much experience. And his body's still firing and clicking. So now he's being able to put both of those together. He's still physically ready with his body, and now his experience and all the reps inside in the cage, he's putting them together, and he's just looking fantastic. Flyweight right now is gonna get real interesting because you have Joshua Van, who's probably gonna take on Manel Kape. You got Pantoja, who's waiting, coming off the injury, so he's probably going to get the winner. You still have Tatsuro Taira, who's right there at number 3. You got Brandon Moreno, who's going to fight in about 6 weeks. You have Royval is ahead of Moreno, and then you got Kyoji Horiguchi, I'm sure is going to jump up to number 6. So it's like Horiguchi is 6, Moreno's 5, Royval's 4, Taira's 3, Kape is 2, Pantoja's 1, and then Joshua Van is the champ. So, man, that top 5, 6 right there is fucking nasty. Like, those are going to be some great fights, man. I hope the matchmakers come through and give us some bangers, man, because they're all there for the taking, man. They're all there for the taking. Great fight, great win by Kyoji Horiguchi, and he says he wants the title. He called the title out next, but like I said, there's a lot of moving parts right now at the top at flyweight, so it'll be interesting how this all plays out. The feature fight, like I mentioned, Jailton Almeida loses to Rizvan Kuniev. The only fight I lost on this entire card, which pissed me off because I really wanted to go 13-0, and be able to boast that, I didn't miss a pick this entire card. But Jailton Almeida, I thought for sure after his last fight with Alexander Volkov was going to make the adjustments, not be gun shy. He literally let Rizvan Kuniev get a hold of him and back him into the fence for 3 rounds. It was just horrible. It was boring to watch. Kuniev would let go a couple combinations. Jailton Almeida would try to shoot for a takedown, but he was out of range. So Kuniev would just sprawl out, back up. Then they'd come together. They'd crash together with 2 big shot or 1 big shot each. Crash in. Kuniev would get a hold of him, back him into the fence, and then they'd just sit there and hold. I believe it was, who was the referee for that fight? I think it was Mark Goddard. No, not Mark Goddard. Dan Mergliotta was the referee for that fight. That's the most separations I've seen in a long time. Like, he separated these guys at least 8 to 10 times that fight. I might be over-exaggerating a little bit, but it was a lot of separations, man, because these guys were not doing shit on the cage. Like, at least if you get there, get some dirty boxing, fish for underhooks, overhooks. They were just literally sitting there in over-under position or double under position and just, like, resting and, like, worn out. Like, Jailton Almeida has all the tools to be great. He is just so gun-shy and did absolutely nothing and didn't show any improvement from the Volkov fight. He let me down. I thought he'd do more. He didn't. Kuniev deserved to get the win. It was just a slow, boring fight. But, Kuniev did what he had to do. The next fight down, Michael Olejniczak takes on Marc-Andre Barrio. I picked Olejniczak for one reason only. Marc-Andre Barrio, I bet on him 3 separate times, and he's lost all 3 times. I wasn't going down that road again. Olejniczak looked better. Marc-Andre Barrio poured it on in the second and third and made it close. Mikhail Olejniczak gets the decision, but Andre Barrio, I'll never bet him again. Ever, ever, ever. If you guys see this, take my word for it. The one and only time I bet against him, he comes through for me. He screwed me all the other 3 times. The next fight down, Jean Matsumoto versus Fahid Basharat. Basharat looked great in this fight. Man, his boxing was clean. His takedown defense was impenetrable. Jean Matsumoto is a prospect. He looked good in there. But Basharat just looked so much better. Pieced him up the entire time. Landed good kicks. But his boxing, man, is so slick. I really like Basharat. Him and his brother were on this card. His older brother was on the prelims. I'll get to that one. But Fahid Basharat is the younger brother. He looked great. He looked really, really good. And I did pick him to win as well. The next fight down, Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. I picked Dustin Jacoby to win. He gets it done in the second round by knockout. Julius Walker was really putting the pressure on him that first round. Took him down once, and then Matt returned him like 2 or 3 times. Never let go. Kept continuously putting him on the mat. Dustin Jacoby is a veteran now. He's got so many fights in the UFC. He weighed himself out, stayed defensively sound, stayed protective of the neck. Second round comes out. He turns up the heat, catches Julius Walker with a beautiful 1-2. Man, stuns him. He goes down. I thought it was over. He grabs a hold of Jacoby's foot, like around the ankle, holding on for dear life. Everybody's yelling at Mergliotta to stop it. And he's like, keep going. Jacoby kicks out, hits him on his knees with the punch, so it's legal. And then, it was just a wild finish. The last 30 seconds could have been stopped at any time. But Dustin Jacoby, I picked him to win. He wins by knockout. Man, it was an amazing second round. Crazy second round. Next fight down, we had Alex Morono versus Danil Dachenko. I took Danil Dachenko. Alex Morono was on an 0-3 in his last 3. He fought with a lot of heart, but it just wasn't enough. Danil Dachenko landed huge leg kicks in that fight, to set the tone early, and then was just piecing him up. Danil Dachenko gets the decision, man. But Alex Morono showed a lot of heart and a lot of grit in there. He's a tough dude, man. Shout out to Alex Morono. The next fight down, Nikolai Varichnikov. Sorry, I had to get it right. Nikolai Varichnikov takes on Nico Price. Nico Price, man, you got to love the guy. He goes out there to either take you out or go out on his shield, and he went out on his shield. Nikolai KOs him in the first round with a brutal right hand. Man, it was crazy, man. I like Nico Price, but he's got to do something, man. He just can't keep going out there throwing caution to the wind because he's just getting slept over and over, man. And I really like that dude. But shout out Nikolai Varichnikov. I picked him to win, so I'm on the roll right here. Next one down, it was Bruna Brazil versus Caitlin Souza. I picked Caitlin Souza to win. She wins a 3-round decision. The next fight down, Javid Basharat, the older brother. I picked this fight because it was against a guy, Gianni Vasquez. Takes the fight on short notice. They didn't even have They just had the shadow silhouette of him on the website. I took him just based on that, and I know the Bashar brothers are really good. But Johnny Vasquez really impressed me, man. He showed a lot of heart. He landed some good shots. He had Javi Bashar in trouble a few times, had him on his heels. He never quit going forward. He never gave up. He never gave in. He made Bashar earn that victory. But Bashar does get the victory nonetheless. So there's another win for me. Next one down, Wayne Kong versus Eduardo Mora. Both these girls missed weight. They had to do it at a catch weight at, I believe, like 100 and, I think it was like 120. I think it was supposed to be a flyweight at 115 or strawweight 115, and they did it like at 125 or something like that, I think. But Wayne Kong beats Eduardo Mora. Mora controlled most of the first round. Wayne Kong gets up in space, hurts her bad, drops her. She's trying to ground and pound her from inside the guard. Second round, comes back, more the same. Mora actually out-grapples her in the second round. I gave the second round to Mora. The third round, she comes out and tries to do more of the same. But Wayne Kong, she knew she had to get that third round. She makes separation, gets some big shots, lands some good ground and pound. Wayne Kong gets the decision and another win for me. Then the last two, Maureen Gaffarov versus Jacob Wilcox. Wilcox, I'm really high on this dude. He's the one that just beat Patchy Mix to send him on his way. He's one of Joanna Jędrzejczyk's like prodigies. She's known him since he was a kid. She's been keeping her eye on him, kind of like tailoring him up all the way through until he got to the UFC. They're giving him good fights. He looked great in this fight. He wins by submission in the third round with like 1 second left. 1 second left. He wins by submission. Rear naked choke. So Jacob Wilcox, man, he looked great. And then the last one was Claudia Segulia, and she beat Cachoeira. Yeah, something Cachoeira. 3-round decision. But yeah, I just picked her because she was Polish, and all the Polish guys on the card Saturday night won. So that's my little breakdown, man. I was so happy, man. I wish I would have bet more on these fights, maybe even parlayed. But, man, what can you do? Seems like every time I actually put money on, I always lose. Whenever I just call them how I feel without looking at the odds, I always win. So, but it is what it is. But also, we had Usman Nurmegomedov had a big win at PFL this weekend as well. I think it's only a matter of time. I think he has one or two more fights, or to the end of the year before his contract's up. I think the plan is for him to finish it out and then start making waves to make it to the UFC. 155 is stacked right now as it is, but you add a Usman Nurmegomedov in there, just the last name alone, and he's got skills. I think he's probably one of the best strikers of anyone that comes out of the Habib Eagle camp. He's got a lot of promise, man. I really like Usman, man. I think his fights with Paul Hughes were great, both of them. The first one more so. I think he actually underestimated Paul Hughes in that first fight, and Paul Hughes was there and was taking it to him. The second one wasn't as close. You know, Usman really probably took it serious, and they made him buckle down and really address the issues that he had in the first. But he looked great. And I think it's only a matter of time before he gets to the UFC. So, last thing, I'm only going to bring it up because there were two fighters involved in the Super Bowl halftime show with Bad Bunny. We had Xander Zayas, who's from Puerto Rico, and Emiliano Vargas, who's Mexican-American, son of legendary Fernando Vargas, who's one of my favorite fighters of all time. So those two were doing the little skit where they were kind of like shadow boxing against each other when Bad Bunny was coming through. Yeah, that was great for the sport of boxing, man, to have two young guys like that, two young or Zayas is a champion. Manuel Vargas is not a champion yet, but he will be, I'm sure of it. But two guys with a legendary rivalry between Puerto Rico and Mexico, and Puerto Rico and Mexican-American fighters, vice versa, Mexican versus Puerto Rican-American fighters. You know, you can switch it up however you want. You know, you always had, you know, just great fights between the two countries, man. And it's a great thing. So it was a good thing to see them. Regardless of what you think about the Super Bowl halftime show, I mean, I watched it. I thought it was all right. I mean, it's not that big a thing. Not that big a deal, man. It's just a halftime Super Bowl show. I don't know why everybody gets so up in arms and, you know, they had an alternative. If you didn't like it, you could have watched Kid Rock, whatever, man. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. I don't get into politics, man. It's not my thing. I love fights, and that's it, But I enjoyed it. It was all right. My kids liked it. My nieces liked it. My sisters, my brother-in-law, we had a good time. Game was kind of slow, but a defensive game, and I appreciate that. But yeah, that's what it is, man. So good for boxing to see those two guys in the halftime Super Bowl show. So that's my little rundown from this weekend. Oh, last thing. Andre Arlovski, man. I love this guy. I loved him when he was the champion in the UFC, which was more than 20 years ago. Every time you think this guy's done, he goes on 4-fight losing streak. He'll win 3. He'll lose 4. He comes back, wins 2 more. Then he loses 3 more. He comes back and wins. He finally got released after his last loss. He had a knockout in boxing in the first round. He comes to Knucklemania against the reigning heavyweight champion in bare knuckle, Ben Rothwell, who I believe beat him twice before in the UFC. And he wins in the third round. Second round? Yeah. Third round via doctor stoppage. He had split Ben Rothwell open on the scalp and then a second one over the eye. He looked so good in this fight. Arlovski did. Rothwell didn't look himself. I'll say that. He looked a little bit slower, a little tentative. I don't know what it was. Arlovski was moving in and out. Great footwork. Was landing counter shots. 1-2s off the counter. He was pulling him in. Rothwell would throw a big right hand. He'd slip, hit him with like a short left hook, straight right down the pipe. I mean, he was landing huge shots on Ben Rothwell. Give it to Ben Rothwell, man. He never went down. He took him like a champ. But, man, you can only take so many. Your face can only take so many just straight knuckle shots. But another big thing, he mentioned that he had beat cancer for the 3rd time. That's amazing in itself. A fighter like that, who we'd never heard anything about this before. He's that type of guy. He never was out there spreading all this and looking for any type of sympathy or anything from anyone. He got cancer, he beat it. It came back, he beat it again. It came back, he beat it again. And now he became a second sport world champion, winning the bare knuckle heavyweight title to go along with his UFC heavyweight title. Shout out to Andre Arlovski, the Pitbull, man. You are an inspiration. You are a true fighter in every sense of the word, man. And congratulations, man. You earned that victory. And I hope nothing but the best for you moving towards the future, man. Moving into the future, I'm sorry. But that's my rundown for today. So yeah, you guys, thank you guys once again for watching. As always, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.